thing.
So, welcome back to episode Fuck Knows of GNS. We are back here with Camille and Jack. Jack is annoyed for absolutely no reason today. Camille looks like he's checking in from Potato. So, how are we doing, boys?
Camille, you go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I would show you right now, but I am currently in the new gaff. So last weekend was an absolute fucking hectic weekend. Moving houses really wasn't that far. It's like a 20-minute drive, but like I was ill. It was pissing it down with rain for about 4 days straight, and like just carrying heavy boxes just absolutely killed me off. Luckily, I was in a deload. I had my first session yesterday. Straight to the gulag after the first set. Like it was when it's one of them sessions like after deload and then illness, it's like I did like maybe 60-70% of the load and I got like 70% of the reps. I was like fucking hoodie up, like headphones on, just like literally looked like I was about to headbutt someone. And then at the end of the session I was like, fuck it, I'll have a look. And then I went for a little pose. I was like, why do I look this is the best look that I've ever had, even though I'm ill and had one of the worst sessions I've had in a couple months. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. I feel a lot better today. Gonna send legs today, which is really fucking exciting. Like the drive to train is definitely back, which is good. But not because I want to train, but rather because yesterday was so bad. I just want to redeem myself.
Were them post-workout shots what you got yesterday that you sent over to me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a fucked look. Yeah. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, so I haven't weighed myself for about 3-4 days because obviously we've been moving with the scales and they're not being readily disposable. But I weighed myself this morning. I was 202.6, which is like another 2.5 pound drop in a week, which again, I was ill, so a little bit is going to be glycogen. But I think fat loss wise, we're kind of getting to the point now where like it's a really good point to start prep. I think my back can peel a little bit more, but like my anterior sort of leanness is definitely coming, especially my legs, which is really fucking cool to see.
Yeah, they look mint. Like you could really see a teardrop coming out as well, and you can see the sweep, and it's like holy shit. Then you hit a front double, it's like, yeah, okay, sick. I feel instantly small now, but you're almost going into the 190s now, so you're victim weight, mate. So officially not classed as take it. You know, actually, you can enter a natty show you're that small, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah, you could do that thing that the bikini girls have been doing on social media. Just like, you guys seen that, or is that gone?
No, I have no idea what you're about.
No,
I thought they were going to be
Jack
crying over a cookie or something like that they ate post show. That's why
you know me and bikini girls. I know everything. No, I'm kidding. That sounds so fun. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I need to remember like job mode. No, so I don't know. No one said the name of the coach. I wish I know who, but a bunch of top coaches came out and were like, they know of. I don't know if it happened once or multiple times, but there's one coach with at least one athlete who is competing. That they have a bikini athlete competing in a natural federation, but they're taking quite a lot of drugs. And basically, we're like, hey, look, you won't get found out, you won't get tested for it. And everyone was like, stop fucking doing that. But
is that a bikini athlete?
It was a bikini athlete in a natural fed that was taking PEDs, that was told to by their coach, I believe. But the coach was basically saying like, yeah, do natural feds, no one will test you, and it's perfectly fine. Everyone does it, and that's not true.
What?
That's still on the bikini athlete though. If she's been told that, and she's
it's
still
on both of them. It's on absolutely.
That's fucked. Especially if they were in like a bad place mentally. As you say, are you saying that? Or I presume it's a he. I'm not sure. I have no fucking clue.
I think people were using like he, him for whoever the coach is. People have said as if like, so Tim, Christian, Joe Jeffrey, Calvin Precision, the Big Dog Cast talked about it as well. So Nave Styles, Jimmy Tonk, and the Doctor. Everyone's said it like they know who the coach is, and no one said who, which makes me think that they're quite high up. So
correct me if I'm wrong, but why bikini isn't like that demanding from like a PED perspective anyway? I would imagine.
Yeah, you're right. But it was like so it was Femtest and Anavar, Clen and T3, I think it was. So just
quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
It is quite a bit.
I think anything more than 0 is quite a bit for a natural fed.
Shut up, mate. Or that is to speak the loudest.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, I'll
I need to start doing. Oh,
Dude.
sorry.
Yeah, natty cycle, bro. Natty cycle. Yeah.
Nice.
E3, that's
See my
natural.
creasing.
Fucking testosterone, that's natural. It's just kind of anabolic,
Crazy.
chop those out, and then you're natural. Put in a bit of GH and Slim. It's all natural, mate.
Ashwagandha and Telmisartan.
Bro's blood pressure.
You're going heavy now. Fucking hell. You might get some serious side effects from them. You might want to calm down. Mate.
Extended lifespan. Oh no. Everyone's fear.
Of course, an enhanced bodybuilder saying that.
Did everyone see Peace? Nice. Reese got his PCA Pro card. Everyone see that?
Yay!
He's got 3 in a row. Fair play to him. Fair fucks.
I love the story when he went, might have just won a pro card. That's so real. I was tired. But yeah,
I think it's because he's just he's gone open this season, and he obviously brought such a good package, but I don't know. I think he just needs a little bit more size. He's just too pretty. He's too pretty, still, in my opinion. For open.
I don't think you can really be too classic for open. It's just size, really. So I feel like it's not. I don't think it's going to hold him back. But
He needs to be bigger.
Oh well, yeah, but that's any PCA Pro compared to the Olympia, though, isn't it? Really, it's just get big. I wonder if he will reach a point of I don't know, 270 lean, it's clean, 280, 290, it's oh dear, we're starting to midsection distend, kind of the physique loses its appeal. I wonder. But yeah, there was a bit of controversy though. Yeah, bro. PCA said, I heard this on the Big Dogcast. PCA said that they didn't like the way that he was posing. Apparently, it was too cocky. One of the female judges who works for PCA said, kind of a bit of a snide that was we like confidence, we don't like arrogance. And Nath Styles and Jimmy were going on, and they were yeah, he poses way too arrogantly.
How would that look in what about his posing could make him arrogant?
This is kind of your field, Matt, so do you want to?
I'm not going to critique the guy because he fucking won it. Well, I am going to critique the guy, but I'm not going to say shit. But he won his fucking pro card. So at the end of the day, it's sick. But yeah, he was very Reese. He's a very, very overconfident person. And to be honest, you really expect him to pose a bit arrogant. What made it arrogant is the way it was his stage presence mostly. It wasn't his actual how he was hitting the pose. It was stage presence. When he was walking on, he was kind of going up to the crowd, going like this and being and then if someone didn't if they didn't cheer a lot loudly, he'd be yeah, it was quite, but fair play to the guy, he's fucking mint. But yeah, posing from I'm sure, I don't know what, he wouldn't listen to this, but if he was listening to this, we know posing isn't his strong point. If you were to take his physique and his posing, it'd be his posing that needs to be worked on, but it's still fucking up there. It's not too bad. But yeah, he just needs to be a bit more kind of. I think he will, especially when he goes on a pro stage. He won't be as arrogant because he's shit, I'm in with the big dogs now. Not that he didn't go against a good standard, but yeah, he's quite he's like Jack says, he's quite a very, very confident person. Sometimes that can be seen as arrogance. There's a fine line between two, especially with posing. Yeah, it's just the way his stage presence was. But yeah,
I don't think it's I think it's really a knock against him. It's only
yeah,
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with posing arrogantly. It's just it's a style. I mean, to be fair, Reese did come out and he said that he threw a few shots at Big Dogcast, but basically along the lines of he thinks people get upset because Reese, when he's on stage, is just there for a laugh, doesn't take it too seriously. A bit of hyping up the crowd, a bit of a smirk, etc., etc. And he thinks annoys people because they take it too seriously. And I think I think there's something in that, but I don't think that's entirely. I don't think that entirely dismisses the posing. I think Reese as a person, he's a very sound guy. I think his social media presence is very much of bravado and confidence, and I think that's what he was going into it with, and it comes across as arrogant. And I think that ultimately it doesn't matter because he's a PCA pro now. But I don't think he really. I think the way that he was competing was just kind of like he just competes to compete, and like he was just kind of rocking up and was like he did a few shows where he's like, "Oops, I was accidentally flat. Oh well, keep on moving." You know, he's not like hyper fixated. He's just kind of doing it because he enjoys it. You know.
Yeah, what you said is a reason, not an excuse. Like what you said when he said, like, when he was like, yeah, he was going, yeah, that's just him, which is fair enough. Like, you can't knock him. Like, he's definitely 100% himself, and I really, really respect him for that. Like, a lot of people, like, you know, go up and try and be like this big persona online, but he really doesn't. He's just kind of himself. He will play it up a little bit in terms of arrogance, but yeah, that is social media at the end of the day. But like when he was on stage, like he needs to recognize. I think he will when he goes into pro shows, but he doesn't need to recognize. Right, this is a pro show. I can't just dick around. You know, if I dick around, them not for them not for arrogance, like them knocks that he got for potentially points and stuff like that. That's gonna might be the difference between him first and second, and that might be the difference between him, you know, doing that. So
yeah, Reese, if you're listening, I think you're not, but if you're listening, there's going to be a point of like, if you want to go further in bodybuilding, you're going to meet people who, unless you play their game, they're just going to not let you pass. And
shit, but yeah.
like, yeah, you'll if people at a pro show, if people don't fuck with you, you know, like bodybuilding is political, I'm sure that they would be like, no, second place to you. And so, you know, but again, it's like bodybuilding is one of those things where they'll be like, oh, you're marked on how professional you are on stage, and they might deem your method not professional. So it's one of those things that like you can do, but I think it's good to hear that criticism now rather than going to a pro show and being like, what the fuck, you should have won, that's a wasted season, like whatever, you know. But yeah,
you can see it both ways. Like you wouldn't expect like it'd be the same thing as like, you know, a footballer turning up to you know, a Premier League final and being like, oh sorry, like a Champions League final and being like, oh sorry guys, just here to mess around. Like it's not like what you'd expect, right? He's in a sport, like, but like I think if that were to happen to Reese, I think he wouldn't actually take it like too badly. I think he'd be like, right, well, I was still myself. You know, if he was to get that second place because of arrogance, I think he would still be like, you know what, you know, I was myself. I had fun on the day. I actually think he would be like that, but maybe he'd go the other way. But I feel like that's just
I do wonder how goal driven he is versus how like, well, I look sick, so who the fuck cares? You know?
Yeah, I feel like he's in the middle. Yeah, he did. Did you see what he put on his story? I've never seen him actually be emotional in his story, but did you see what he put about his dad and the song? That was that was nice.
I mean, Reese on social media versus Reese in person, two drastically different people. Like they are really worlds apart. Like I think he's like flanderized himself quite a lot on social media to be like super cocky bravado. Like yeah, man, fucking like. You know, I think there's probably quite a lot more. Well, there is quite a lot more depth to him than he presents on social media.
Yeah,
I think that's his brand, is just being like cocky. And I mean, fair play. I'm not fucking 240 on stage, so
yeah. I was gonna say I mean, you could eat me for
my meal. 240 now, fucking hell.
Yeah, bro, 240, and I'll be like fucking, you know, a sumo wrestler. That'd be quite fun. I'll struggle to fit through doorways, but my belly won't be able to go through before my butt. So
the heaviest natty I know of was Finn's off season at 230, and that's still 10 pounds lighter. And Finn,
I think most of the heaviest natties are probably dead, mate, if they're that fat. So
yeah, I think it's so hard to get that heavy as a natural bodybuilder because you'd have to really fucking force food, because you'd have to get so unresponsive to like insulin that you're just, yeah, there's no fucking way. Unless you're
just spam Keenan flaps. Like, what are you doing? Just spam. Why did you just moan when you laughed then?
I did 2 sets of 40 and hit 240, bro.
There you go.
Sorry, you do 40 sets of 2.
Right, shall we wrap up the introduction, because we've actually just been yapping so much.
I could yap all day.
So could I, mate. So do you want to talk about your week, Jack, and then we'll go on to me, and then we'll talk about the thing. Because I think Camille asked it. Camille went, "How was your week?" And you just yapped.
I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah.
Camille, did you talk about your week in the end? I can't remember.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay, sounds like I'm all full of beans. It's the Heineken Zero. I'm popping off. My week has been good. I'm starting to I'm not as lean, but like the fullness is coming back and the size is coming back, which is really, really cool. Performance is good. I've got I've got a little bit of a shoulder twinge going on, as Camille saw in the Instagram comments. So yeah, Saturday, I might need you to have a look at that.
Give me that money.
I'm just kind of like holding load on like a lot of pressing and just like trying to like still progress through kind of stimulus. And then with leg stuff, I've just decided that like my ego is just getting in the way of like pressing. So I'm going to move all my leg pressing to single leg pressing and just do like a plate, if that, and just really control it. Because today I went to like 4 plates per side on the linear Cybex leg press, the Dorian one. And I was doing 4, not a lot. And I was still like, I was like, right, I'm going to do like ridiculously controlled reps. And I was like, oh, I'm guarding and also I'm rushing the depth, like at the very bottom. Like I was trying to almost like think about knee over toe. And it got to a point about midway where my brain was like, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. And I was like, okay, there's definitely like a few guarding mobility restrictions and some weakness there. And I think I'm in such a rush to get my quad pressing up to where I want it to be that I'm just missing out on stimulus and just like battering my knees. So lots of split squats and lots of single leg pressing. And then I made a TikTok and everyone got annoyed at me. And that's pretty much my week.
Wait, what TikTok was that? I didn't see that.
It was the frequency doesn't matter.
Oh, shit, I need to watch that. Yeah, wait, actually, speaking of frequency, how is I swear you've gone up to 5 times a week frequency, haven't you?
Yes. And
how is it?
It's good. The biggest things I've noticed is like cosmetically I look better, definitely. I look for some reason if I train and then pose, I look shit. If I train and then do cardio and then pose, I look way better. And just like I seem to wake up the day after training looking pretty fucking good after training day food and training day. And so like my body weight is up to about 211 now, which is sound. So I've gained a good few pounds through inflammation and fullness, and I look a lot better. Things feel a lot better. And also for pulling, it really helps me kind of cue into my scaps. Push, I just get weak. But pull day, I get like a lot better at movement efficiency. Like it actually kind of improves me. Having a barbell row at like the back end of a session rather than after a press feels so good.
Yes.
I think, sorry, Matthew, before you continue, I think the whole like knee over toe narrative is like, I think it's so like put on a pedestal, like it's so fucking important that people forget that if you just get fucking stronger at a leg press, your quads are going to grow anyway. Like there's only so much that you can bias an exercise to the point where it's actually detrimental to your own structure.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, you're beginning to guard, you're beginning to go against your own structure, which inevitably will just lead to like injuries down the line. So I think a little bit of advice for you, Jack, is just like, don't emphasize like biasing the quads, like biasing the glutes, biasing the X, Y, and Z. If you just get really fucking strong at the movement, your quads are going to grow anyway.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like I've definitely gone too far the other way, turning every leg press into like a sissy leg press. But at the minute, like all of my leg pressing, like my fucking, I'll finish with like my shin still like 90 degrees to the fucking pad. It's like the only time I don't get knee pain when I press is where my knee tracks literally in line with my ankle and never passes it at all. And I'm like, okay. And equally as well, the concern was like, even with 4 plates, which is 2 plates less than I do a side, towards the bottom, I was like, I'm still rushing this. So my goal is to strip it back, single leg, control the entire movement, and then actually like build it up from there. Once I've got that to like, I don't know, 20 weeks of pushing that up, swap over to 2 leg patterns, hopefully get some squat patterns in as well, because I haven't done a squat pattern in ages. If I can do a squat pattern pain-free and load that up, then chilling. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've got legs on Saturday. I can kind of show you what I mean. But it's like slow. And then as soon as I get like halfway, it's like a little bit of guarding kicks in. I just inherently speed up, even with like load that I should be able to manage really quite easily. And it's like, it's probably not great.
Yeah, I think from the sounds of things, it sounds very like psychological, because obviously you've had such a long sort of presentation with that knee pain that when you go into that specific end range, you're a bit like, oh fuck, like this could be a bit dangerous for me. So I think from that perspective, but also something that you could play around with is just doing like isometric holds. So like you said, a plate aside, but doing an isometric hold in the lengthened position for like 30 seconds.
That's not a bad idea, to be fair. I might try that. It's just like my right knee is where I feel like pain and tension a lot of the time, and I know a lot of that is linked to, like we spoke about, tibial rotation.
Have you tried like anything heel elevated, like putting a plate on like a leg press to elevate your heels maybe?
I could do. I don't currently. I could.
That's the two things I experiment with. So like isometrics, loading like in that length and spending a considerable amount of time there with some load, and two is like elevating your heels.
Let me write that down.
Done.
Write that down.
He's on it. He's on it. So it's like that you know, the isometrical. Isometric at the bottom. Because bro, I don't know the rehab like you. Is it almost like, you know, like flooding, like you know, you're intentionally, like, you know, flooding, like kind of like when someone's scared of like spiders, you throw them in a room with spiders. It's kind of like that. You're loading a movement where you've got psychological discomfort against it. So spending time there and just kind of, is it like that? Is that almost why you do it? Or I guess there's other reasons, but.
Yeah, the way I describe it is your nervous system. Think like your nervous system is like the wiring system of your body. If the wiring gets a bit junky, the cables get messed up, and maybe there's less sort of input at that region, then the body begins guarding. And what you want to do is basically rewire those cables by getting some load and holding that load for an extended period of time. And a good sort of indicator of that, not always, but a good indicator of that is if you start shaking, that's literally your nervous system being like, oh, fuck, like I need to figure this out. I'm not used to this. I'm not comfortable here. So that's almost what you want. If you start shaking, like in the end range, for example, in a leg press, your nervous system go like, okay, fuck, like I need to figure this out. I'm being forced into this position. I don't like being in this position. So I need to make sure that I do like it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that wiring example, to be fair. I might use that. Is no one going to ask me about my week, or am I just going to...
Oh, yeah, how's your week?
Yeah, it was a week or something, bro.
I actually don't even have that much to talk about, so you're all good. You know, I actually sent these guys death threats for not asking about my week. No, I'm joking. Okay, so
I asked you earlier, and you asked me about your availability.
Yeah, I'll say that. Honestly, this week, that is the topic of what I've said. It's honestly learning to switch off. I've been so... #locked in since 2023. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Locked in. Jack's so sick of it. Locked in that, like, genuinely, like, I'm struggling to relax, like, genuinely struggling, which I'm sure you two have always been through, and you probably still go through. As an online coach, you're so... I think people forget it because as a client, you're only talking to the coach. You don't realize how many people they're actually talking to. And like even me, like I'm not acting like I have the most amount of clients, right? But I've had a significant increase, and I can feel that workload. And I'm having this thing where I'm turning, you know, 15 so clients into a 60-hour work week. So I'm trying to work around that. Setting work times has definitely worked so far, in terms of you know, actually putting my mind at ease. So now instead of working till, you know, like 11, 12-ish, because I'm just like that, because I'm cool like that. I know. Instead of working that late, now I'm, you know, actually switching off, spending some time with my girlfriend, and enjoying life generally. So I really cannot really complain. Training's in a very, very good spot. I had the fucking most insane quad pump of my life today. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I got 2 sets on a pendulum because I actually did them correctly and with decent tempo, with good pauses. Actually made them work, funny enough, instead of just rushing through your squatting like fucking so many people do. It actually irritates me so much. Hey, that's not what I said. But then I went on leg extension. I literally struggled to get instead of like actual, you know, actually contracting my quads and having that force production. Like I had the force production, but the sensation was so overwhelming. I felt like I was overstimulated in the gym. But the visuals were pretty fucking cool. Like they were actually pretty decent.
That's some quad veins as well.
Mate, no, I wish I had like some fucking like a DJI, because in the gym, you know, when you're in the gym, you like quickly like I always wear oversized shit because I'm natty, you know. But I brought it up and I saw like fucking like a map on my leg, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I go to take a photo, and now I look like Lizzo. Like, what is going on there? Like, really, like what is God doing there? Like, really, I'm atheist. I don't know why I said that, but like, what is he doing? What is he doing? Can't he let me have this one win, man? But yeah, that's been my week, to be honest. Just good training and, actually not being a horrible boyfriend. So
Yeah, I think something me and Matty were talking about earlier was like learning to switch off when you're not working. I know Jack is going to start fucking rambling on about me after this, but like for me, I really struggle to like when you say rest from work, like it is very difficult like for me to switch my brain off unless I'm doing another task. So like I tried reading, for example, I end up doing like fucking recording content. I try like socializing. Again, I'll just end up replying to clients. I'll try to see my missus. I'll send form feedback at 11 p.m. The only thing personally that I found works for me, and I know Jack will say you're not switching your brain off, well fuck you, is gaming. That's literally the only thing that I found where I'm able to like focus on something else that isn't work and actually focus on that. So like I think that's something that I was telling Matty maybe you should try out.
Yeah, he's in the middle of kissing his girlfriend. He just got form feedback over the shoulder. Like, he's
I got my laptop in one hand. I got Clash Royale in the other.
Yes, nah, that's valid though. Clash Royale.
So overstimulated.
We need a way of getting Clash Royale next to check-ins. Like, is that not a good? Is that not a life complete?
I was gonna make an Archer Academy Clash Royale clan, but I don't know if Jack would rate that.
How are you doing that 1,000 check-ins a day and it's like Clash Royale on one screen? Fucking hell.
Should we actually get on to like posing and stuff like that? Because oh my god,
no, I'm kidding. Go on. Matty, you've got the people. So I think if you share their profiles with me on Insta and I'll share my screen and we'll run through it.
Okay. So you want me to get the profiles up of these people? Give me one.
So they send you pics or have they just said me, please?
No, they replied to stories. So like,
okay.
Yeah, so I just sent all the photos on WhatsApp. What do you need to do? So.
Oh, did you send the photos on WhatsApp? Oh, maybe I'm tripping.
Yeah, I did it on chat because I was like, he's probably going to be screen recording, so it makes sense for.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
Thinking ahead.
Is it this team? Who's this guy?
Oh, who's this guy? I've started with his worst side there, so apologies, Aaron. Because
is that two Alexa?
Is that big on them? Jeez. Fuck me. But anyway, how are we gonna do this? Because we've got a couple of physique ones in there as well. I think we rate physique, and then I say like you go for physique, Jack, and Camille, you could also join in with physique, but you could also join in posing with me. You can be like kind of the middleman if you want.
If we do, like, here. If we do physique, and we each just like give some input. And then if we jump to Matty for posing, and then Matty, if you're like, hey, your scaps are fucked, Camille, you can be like, hey, hey, maybe
there is a couple in here. So I'm down.
If it's like without going too into it. Anyway, we've got Aaron first of all. So is it just the two side?
Yeah. No. He's got a couple more, but I didn't want to spam him. Like he's got like so many. He put like 20 through. So I wanted to get some of the ones that would make the most sense for him. So maybe the fucking symmetry round would make a lot of sense considering his plans.
So maybe we'll start off with the front and the back because they probably show off the physique the most, in my opinion.
I just want to look at the glutes. I think that's why. Yeah.
He
is Jack's client, by the way, and he's my posing client.
We've known Aaron for a while. I've coached him for like 2 years, so he's an hunk.
He is the nicest guy ever.
I'm well accustomed with his glutes.
Okay, so Mr. Aaron Hashmi. Starting off with first of all, Aaron 25 for 25% off perform. I think that in terms of physique, it's kind of like me and Aaron spoke about before. I think the main thing that kind of speaks to me looking at these shots is I'd like to see a tinge more leg. He's got very, very strong legs. And in off season, they hold tremendous size. I think muscularity wise, they haven't downsized. In terms of like putting your hand around it, I think it has downsized from off season, which it happens. The same thing happens to my chest when I'm fat. I look like I have double D's. When I get lean, it's like, where the fuck is your chest? So I think a little bit more kind of overall leg would be like, even from the rear here would be what I want to see. What do we reckon, boys?
Yeah, I would say lower, but like you say, like his legs aren't small. They just you can tell that there's some fat to lose there as well. Like his upper is very, very in, like not in, but you know what I mean. Like it's compared to his legs. And yeah, I can't really compare it without seeing him like stage lean, I guess. But still, I think if we're to judge, I think it will be his legs. Like realistically, bit more, especially on them rear shots, maybe a bit more adductor for sure. Like especially there's posing issues there as well, but I think that would help quite a lot. But yeah, what do you think, Will? Any other thoughts?
I'm gonna go doubts.
Yeah, I was thinking that low key. Looking
Personally, I think Aaron's got a very, very balanced physique. I think because it's so balanced, if he had like a muscle group that really was like fucking really well developed and gave him that pop, like if he had like bulging delts, not that his delts are bad, but if they were almost disproportionately big, I think that would just enhance his physique so much. He's already so balanced, in my opinion.
Yeah, delts and arms are kind of one of those things where it's like, well, delts and arms together, if they're overpowering, you still look
give so much.
Yeah, you look tremendous. Whereas, like, you know, overpowering legs or back or chest, you're the back, chest, or legs guy. Overpowering arms and delts, you're an open bodybuilder. You know. Okay, cool. In terms of posing, we'll go to the quarter turns because Matty, obviously, there's probably a fair bit you can say here. What do we think? Because obviously, I mean, this is far better. But what do we think? What's
Yeah, I'll try and I see this is hard. Like I was saying to Jack before this, like it's so hard because there's so many. As a posing coach, you can see that shit so off, like easily. Basically, the most people will be able to see this other side relax that you've got, not the other one, and be like, that's pretty decent. But there's still so many things you can change. That's what it's like. But I'll try and pick out like two, like you've said. So when it comes to the discrepancy between them, we can see that like the actual front side shoulder, the one that's closest to the camera, is opened up quite nicely. Like it's actually where we kind of want it to be in terms of that humeral positioning. But the thoracic rotation is a bit kind of off between the two. If you want to like kind of jump between the two, you can kind of see that this one, if you draw a line from his like kind of neck area to his hip, you don't have to if you want, but to his ankle, it's kind of like a straight line. And it's fuck's sake. Yeah, you kind of want that straight over. But if you go to the other one, this isn't too bad, but it's still slightly different. It's still a bit of a fuck you. But we just need a bit more thoracic rotation, like especially with that front arm. It just needs to come out a little bit more and protract a little bit more. Could potentially be a reasoning why. But there's also some things to go with lower. But this is what I mean. Once you start getting into it, you can really fucking go in the weeds. So
okay.
I'll leave it at that for now.
We'll caveat all of our advice with we're doing it in podcast format. So please, this is not an exhaustive list. Okay.
This is not full feedback.
Yeah, there's way more here. Aaron, you're flat.
More to give.
You're short. Like, come on, Aaron. You're miles off. We're pulling prep. No, I'm kidding. Camille, mate. So obviously, I mean, looking at these two from an osteo perspective, because there's quite the difference between these two. What are we thinking in terms of like restrictions?
Well, yeah, T-spine rotation. So go back to the other one. It looks like he's shrugging through that shoulder. Go left. There you go. Yeah, so he looks like he's shrugging through that shoulder. That trap looks quite protracted, which we tend to see quite a lot in instability of shoulder pictures. When the shoulder is unstable, when like the frontal or transverse plane, the traps take over and that shoulder hikes up. So that could be potentially something that you could sort of investigate. Again, that could be linked to that rotation restriction, potentially a rib restriction as well. Those would be my main pointers there.
Sound. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Let's keep it moving. So we've got N-bum here.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
just ends, mate.
This is quite hard to pick apart from this picture. Is he giving us any more, Matty?
No, it was just that one. I think potentially it could be physique-wise, but
he wants the glaze.
He wants the glaze. What I'll say is send over fucking check-in photos with your trousers off next time. Only for my.
Yeah, Neo, if you're listening, I would do your check-in shots, but you haven't given express permission, so I don't know. I don't want to share them if you're not happy with them, because obviously you're not lean. You are lean, but you're not lean.
I mean, the only thing from an opposing perspective is he's got. I know when he gets lean, he has a fantastic midsection, so we wouldn't really want to be covering that with a hand. So potentially changing this pose to be able to do that, or picking a different most muscular. Like I don't think hands on hip would look too good for him. I think. But definitely hands clasp would look quite nice on him. We've gone through it before. I say would look quite nice on him. I've seen him do it before, so potentially looking at that. But I'd love to see this with our actual legs out, because I know, to be fair to him, like his quads are growing, and I'd love to see that in the crab pose. Like it just looks so nice if you've got some bubbly delts like that. His traps play into it so nicely. He's one of them people that can, like, you know, push his traps forward. I can't. Yeah, it's so nice. It looks fucking ridiculous. So yeah, look at like kind of, I wish I could draw on that, but you know, like on his delt where you can see that kind of separation. What the fuck? Yeah, now we're zoomed in it. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think, okay, so the main thing with this pose for me is like the space you take up if you're in a lineup is not huge.
Yeah.
Right. So like, Neo, you have a very strong back. This doesn't show off your back. Like this looks quite narrowed off. Speaking from knowing Neo's physique, his quads are fantastic. There's a little bit of a thigh up going on. I want to do a bit more adductor with him, which would be good. Hamstrings.
I don't think he was posing his legs here, to be fair.
Yeah, I know. I know what his physique is. Well, I mean, I'm not judging it from this picture, but I know his physique, and we spoke about it. We do a bit more adductor him. And then other than that, I think probably between chest and arms, because while this pose they look fucking tremendous, this is contracted to fuck, and this is like heavily adducting, right? So if we think about, say, like an ab and thigh, or you think about a front double, or you think about even like a hands on hips, most muscular, where the chest is not favored so heavily as it is here, kind of like my chest, like kind of, I would say that might be something that needs a little bit more focus. But again, that being said, that's coming up quite nicely as well. Same with Aaron's legs, both are improving fantastically, so I'm not really concerned. There's not much osteo-ish here, is there, Gamal? Maybe?
No. The only thing I would say is like, I know how hard it is to grow a chest when you're wide, and Neo's even wider than me. So like, I think finding a balance where you're like not completely contracted and closed off, but like still getting a little bit of contraction, and obviously to show off the striations, is again something that Matty's kind of been teaching me with the posing. Is like, not every single pose you have to be contracting 100%, especially if you're as wide as Neo. So that would be my only kind of advice.
We build that chest, even if like we did, like Matty said there, if we just had like fists against each other to show off a bit more width, if you apply a small amount of force between your hands, it's just going to absolutely fucking, you know, as he gets leaner. Right, who up next? Who have we got here? Is that
Bailey? Yeah, Luke's client.
Okay.
He's such a nice guy. I love this guy.
Is it just the one shot we've got here?
It is just a one shot. Yeah, I did try and get people to send over one shot, to be fair, because I was wary. I didn't know how many people were going to send stuff, and I didn't want people sending like 50, but people did send like 20, to be fair. So I tried to. Yeah, he knows. I've talked to him, but from a physique standard, you talk about. Obviously, we can only see back and kind of side. You talk about physique first, and then we'll go.
Yeah, I mean, immediately. There's a few things I'm thinking. So this back arm delt looks good, but again, that's it being favored. Arm thickness looks decent. Back thickness looks good. This looks like it's more scappy than it is like latty. Legs are a good size, but definition wise, again, like hamstrings are a little bit weak. Fairly good quads, but we see there's not much.
Nice.
So like there's good overall leg mass, but equally when you're not that lean, you have to go, okay, well, let's look at the shape of the leg, right? Look at this shape here. A quad would kind of whoop outwards a little bit more, instead of the hamstring whoop outwards. So I would say based off of this, the thing is you can kind of pick out like the easy ones. Like I could say calf and hamstring, kind of a boring answer. I can't see chest. I think back looks decent. A bit more bicep in this pose could be cool, and maybe a bit more delt.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's difficult to say off one photo because we don't know if it's a posing issue or if it's a muscularity issue. But for me, it definitely would be lats. Getting a bit more width into this pose, maybe a bit more rotation to show off that front, the leading lat. and then maybe a little bit more quad, like you said, Jack. Again, but it could be a posing issue. Maybe he's not putting enough force through that leg.
Like, if we, Camille, have a look around here for me. Does that?
Yeah. It's really hard to say from this angle.
Okay.
It is. He did say he had some scap issues going that wasn't opening up fully.
Because if we look at his like, erectors here, and kind of look at his erectors, if we look at his fucking overall like back thickness and like musculature around the scap, kind of leading into the rear delt, like it looks decent. It's just, yeah, I think
a bit bulky.
Yeah, lats, mate. It's hard to say there.
But like generally, I think scap specifically, the lat restriction more likely to be coming from the shoulder than the scap, in my opinion. So maybe something like posterior delt subscapularis and then lats sort of that restriction, rather than coming from the scap itself.
Yeah. Do you want me to go into posing?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Okay. So when it comes to posing, I'll start with one from the lower body and one from the upper body, or maybe two if we'll see. But lower body, we can kind of see immediately that the stance might be a little too narrow. It's kind of hard to tell without, having someone and changing them depending, because, one way you do a pose doesn't fit everyone. But I would like you to pull the legs slightly apart. So maybe take that back foot slightly further back, and then just come up on the calf, on the front of the foot a little bit more. What's happening is he's got his heel too close to the ground, so he can't push his knees forward, which we want to kind of push. We want to dip and then push our knees a little forward to kind of get the flow from our knee to our hip. And from there, he said to me his hips weren't pushed all the way through. And to be honest, like his hips aren't that bad. He could tuck the hip under a little bit and push it forward, but nothing too crazy. And from the upper body, it is just about getting that scap open. If he wants to make himself look a little bit wider sometimes, this could help with him, is just taking his stance instead of going directly straight out. Just bring the hips ever so slightly away from the camera so he can turn and get a bit more thoracic rotation around and making him seem like he has a bit of a larger lat on that front side. Could be an idea.
So
to be
hips
fair,
there.
Sorry? Yeah, hips towards the brick wall. So if you're I don't know, this is the camera. Oh, well, it is the camera, you fucking idiot. But turning turning a bit this way, if you literally have that back foot back, you can feel the difference by turning around like this, as opposed to if you're like this and turning around. It's a bit less restricted, basically. Well, that's what I find anecdotally, and also it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, is that ample for you?
That'll do.
Yes, sir.
That'll
Moving
do.
on. Jesus, what?
Okay, this guy's 19, by the way.
Mad.
Yeah.
Is he coached by Natural Physique by any chance?
Yes, I think he's Josh's client, potentially. Yeah, I think he's Josh's client. Yeah, I've been chatting to him a bit, talking about Skylanders, so he is the GOAT. But yeah, you want to go from a physique perspective? He has a couple more. If you want to go to the end, close to the end,
please.
Here's a couple more. I put a couple more in there for him. Yeah, one and then back two as well. So that one. Yeah, he's decent. I said decent. Pretty fucking good.
It is. I know what it is immediately. What do we think? I know what it is. I know what it is. What do we think?
About what? About his physique.
What the thing I'm going to say is, what do we think I'm going to say?
I haven't even. I was too busy thinking. Go on, you go.
Legs.
Yeah, legs, hamstrings.
Yeah, he's got good shape though. He's got good shape. Like his sweep is decent.
Fantastic shape. What's this guy's name?
HB Fit, I think. I don't know what his actual name is. I think it's Harry, maybe.
We'll go for Harry. Harry, if your name's not Harry, it is now. So with
Harry Brown.
Quad shape is lovely. Adductors are touching. The thing is, you can just see from if we just look at the width across here versus the width from quad to quad, it's just not quite as wide as I'd like it to be. Here's also
lines up so bad. Your legs are wide.
Okay, right, yeah, I'm joking.
It's also where the camera is as well, mate. It's not completely.
I'm drawing the fucking arrows pretty poorly. But yeah, it just looks a touch gappy on the legs. And then if we go to side shot, like upper looks tremendous, like delt, bicep, a little bit of tricep in there, good stuff. Chest, maybe a touch more upper, sure, whatever. But like glute, nice lines there. Touch more hamstring, touch more calf, even a touch more quad there would be nice. Just overall leg. And if we go to here again, yeah, just I don't want to see a bit more. I just want to see a bit more here and a bit more here. And the fact as well that if we bear in mind composition differences, like the fact that clearly upper is leaner than lower, it's like, okay, lower might downsize a little bit more to kind of match the upper. Again, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, a bit more lower focus, but there's not tons in it, you know.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, I think having big legs and a small waist, just like it's fucking the ultimate combo. It really depends what federation he's competing in as well, but definitely, I think I'd go hamstrings as well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. Like if you look at this with bigger quads and more sweep here, like holy shit, it could be serious. Sure. Considering he's 19, yeah, like fucked. I think he jokes about it. Me switching his me switching my legs for his midsection. I think we joked about on the comment section. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Fuck it. But anyway, from a posing perspective here, it's not posed the worst at all. It's just the camera angle makes it a little hard to tell some things. That is just one thing. When you're ever going to do posing shots, please get them from front on, because funny enough, camera angles can hide mistakes. But if we look at this, he could definitely take the legs out a touch wider. Them adductors are touching a little bit too much, and especially considering legs, when we look at the legs, we want them that sweep and we want them to be a little bit bigger. Why would we keep them a little bit closer in? Like, it doesn't make sense. I like the way he's like actually not posing the arms shittly here. A lot of people tend to do the lawnmower or the lawn chair, and they do this instead of actually tucking the arms in. It looks like there is from where I can see it, I don't know if it's just the angle, but it looks like in that left scap, it looks to be slight elevation, and that is throwing off symmetry a little bit. At least that's what I can see from my end, but I could be fucking wrong there. But I like the way he's vacuumed. I think that's pretty good. He does look like he could get a little bit more from that vacuum. To be honest, like I don't know if he's done that fully. It does just look opposed to, you know, when someone vacuums and they just suck in, it looks like that as opposed to actually fully vacuum. I don't know if he is practicing that. Potentially that's just something to work on, but this could look fucked. I like the way he's kept his sternum up as well, which a lot of people tend not to do, and they keep it caved in. But yeah, that's just, I said two things. I said like five things there. But
from the way that we've got like posing trunks on and posing is fairly dialed, I would say, Mr. Harry, this camera should have been, like Matty said, directly facing you. And clearly the reason that the camera is to the side is so that it's not in the way of you looking in the mirror. And that tells me that you have to pose at the mirror. So if we're this close, that condition is looking like this, and we've got trunks on, right? We might not be competing this year, fair enough. Well, it's unlikely now in November. If you're, you know, looking at competing in future, you're already to the point of like composition, you're developing a decent composition, so you can hold that and learn what that feels like. And again, you're wearing posing trunks. I would say it's worth practicing your rounds and being able to fill them out, because if you're thinking of competing, you're not going to have a mirror in front of you. And like Matty said, it's like the best way to do it is clicker in mouth of like, hey, I'm in the pose, here's the shot, and like, you know, clicking it in your mouth and having that phone bang on with you, even setting it front onto you and a little bit lower so you can kind of pose towards the judges potentially. But that's one little bit of feedback that no one asked for. Anyway. Okay, so
I was going to say that, yeah.
Mr. Chris with the clicker in his mouth. Okay, so in terms of physique, kind of the main thing that we really want to focus on is just chest and delts. Okay, arms are of a decent size when they're posed. It's just chest and delts is kind of the main thing that we really want to focus on there. Again, when posed, quads are decent, lats are decent as well. It's just these bad boys here. It's kind of
legs look decent from here. Like you just stood there with like, especially at his you know, body fat. Like you can see like there's some decent teardrop development as well there. Not bad sweep. I can tell if he posed them right, it would look pretty nice.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. When they're like posed and switched on as well, they look really, really good. Obviously, just relaxed. He's picked one of the worst shots of himself ever to post. fully unshaved, relaxed, front on, peak bulk. Man's gone for it. Fair fucks. But yeah, that's kind of the main focus for us at the minute. What do we think, Camille, physique wise in terms of focus?
I could be mistaken, but there might be some femoral anti-version going on. His legs look really, really externally rotated. I don't know if that's just how he is, but that could potentially be something to look into. I don't know. Jack, do you coach him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you notice like on his leg presses, his squat patterns, are his legs like really externally rotated?
Yeah, for leg pressing, and there's a lot of like battling internal rotation with how he wants to squat. As he'll like squat down, he'll be like setting up very external, and then it kind of halfway down starts to rotate and internally and adduct, and he's like having to resist it a little bit.
Interesting. Is that because he feels more comfortable squatting in external rotation, or is that simply because he's cueing that?
So the thing is like, and I've said this to Chris before, is like the way that he lifts is I've never seen someone so relaxed when they lift. He's incredibly like fluid is kind of the way that I can describe it. Like if like when I'll get him to do like an SLDL, he'll do like 3 plates or something, and he'll just bend over and just like pick it up, and there's just like no rigidity in anything, and I'm like helping him cue like any form of rigidity. So a lot of the time with his squatting, and like we've made some adjustments and it's improved, it's just like there's no thought process of like applying pressure to the floor, or it's literally just like kind of go down and then like go up again. So there's not much like general rigidity. Like he'll do it with control, but it's like a very impressive way of lifting. It's just very relaxed like all the time. Same with like pressing. He'll use like a lot of protraction when he presses, which was kind of twinging his scap a little bit, but he'll protract a ton, and it's like just very like fluid. He's just like using everything with very minimal like intention, if that makes sense.
Yeah, this screams hypermobility to me. So for those of you who don't know, hypermobility is just a bit of like a connective tissue sort of genetic predisposition where the collagen fiber is a little bit looser than expected. And how you would approach that from like a rehab or training perspective is that you very rarely do sort of mobility work, and if it is mobility work, it's all dynamic, it's never static. You primarily work on stability because you already have access to all that range of motion, but you might not necessarily have stability in that range of motion. So people who are hypermobile are very much more prone to getting muscle strains, tendonitis, etc., because that demand for stability is so much higher.
The main thing we've been doing, to be fair, we'll look into the hypermobility. We've done a few AROM tests, and they've come back fairly within what I'd expect. A lot of what it has been is like just he'll be very like, for example, with pressing, it's like his coordination with using his scap is like I've never seen someone so intuitively protract and then retract, as like there's so much scapular motion as he's pressing. It's impressive to have that level of coordination. But then when it comes to say getting him to control his scap or his upper back in any kind of like hinge, or control his spine in any kind of hinge, there's a lot of difficulty there. So a lot of what I've been doing with him has been like building coordination by regressing a lot of lifts. And so being like, okay, like we started off with like teaching him how to control his pelvis, while also moving his spine, teaching him how to hinge from the pelvis and maintain a neutral spine with minimal range of motion, and then building up upon that, and then building up upon that, and building up upon that. And yeah, we've been working on a little bit. Ankle mobility was kind of restricted, so we've been working on that a little bit as well, and that's helped a lot with the squat. But even there, it's like I'll be using other leg exercises. And Chris, if you're listening, this is kind of an insight because I haven't told you this, but I've been using other leg exercises to help him kind of cue like more of the coordination that I'd like to see within those lower body lifts. But yeah, it is interesting, Chris. You're a very unique case. And the thing is, he's come to me off the back of lifting for a long time, so I think there may be some like patterned behaviors that I kind of have to break down. But I will look into hypermobility as well, because that definitely could be a case in a fair few things. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Go to the one that I was going to say we could do this one and then go to the one that Camille sent in, because I feel like that we can get on with both of them. Yeah.
Well, do we want to jump to Camille? We can always come back.
Well, no, we'll stay on this one, and then I'm just wary of time for you, Jack. And Camille,
Yeah, that's okay. I should be fine to overdo a little
how are
bit.
you, Camille? Are you all right for time?
Yeah, I'm training legs late night anyway. I'll be all right.
All right. Who have we got here? Who's this handsome fella?
This is Will. He's one of my clients. He's a powerlifter.
Oh, I know Will.
Yeah, pretty heavily muscled, to be fair to him. And that's one of his worst poses, to be fair. And he's pretty fucking heavily muscled.
Yeah, this screams powerlifter to me. He's got like powerlifter physique.
Just solid. Just a solid.
He's just a fucking brick, mate. He is literally just a brick.
I think honestly that this is really solid. Like I think just a bit more chest and lats.
You've nailed it. Yeah, lats especially. But yeah, a bit of chest as well. But his chest isn't bad. It's not as good as his. You see his arms, and it's like, mate, when he poses his arms in his side chest. If you want a photo, I'll get it. But like when you see his arms in his side chest, it's like, what the fuck is that? And it just turned. I can't wait to get him lean. It'll be funny, mate. It's gonna be a joke. But yeah, he's got some serious quads on him.
Yeah, legs are standing out like a fucking brick to me. Jesus.
Midsection. Like actual abdominals compared to like midsection might be a touch undeveloped compared to some of the detailing I'm seeing around it. It's not uncommon for powerlifters, but splitting hairs a little bit. The main ones is just like a little bit of chest, but mainly just upper body width from lats.
Yeah. His hamstrings are also quite good as well. Same with glutes as well. Like he broke the fucking hip thrust the other day because he was literally too strong on it. So he was putting too much force into the ground, and the pad slipped under from him. Like it literally. I don't know how he didn't get injured. I was like, "What the fuck, mate?" He just sent me, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this is what I did." And I was like, "Sick, yeah, nice one."
Jesus, mate.
Yeah, he is strong. He's a strong fucker. But yeah,
this could be a bit of a long ball. But I think I actually disagree with Jack. I think that they're not from a physique perspective, but from a functionality perspective. The fact that he has overall sort of midsection development rather than through an abs is a good thing, because that suggests that he's actually bracing properly. If a powerlifter came to me and they had fucking shredded, like really deep cut abs, but didn't have any obliques, didn't have any serratus, etc., I'd be like, okay, cool. Are we actually bracing properly?
Yeah. Well, you agreed with me. I said because he's a powerlifter, most likely.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I
just wanted to disagree with you.
Yeah, no, I'm wrong. Camille's in charge now. 100%. Like you said, bracing doesn't really come from like your actual.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. It is like that musculature around it, like we said here, and so because of that, like you can clearly see like there is some lovely development.
Yeah.
It's just like in comparison, but again, like he's doing a bodybuilding pose, which is not really his goal. So it's like from a bodybuilding perspective, yeah, do this, but like if not, then fucking keep on living your life, bro. You know.
Yeah. I'd love to see him do a most muscular.
Oh, it's good. I can grab a picture.
I think like Matty said though, a side chest with that quad thickness and arm thickness, like from the side,
for sure.
Like chest, lovely.
So he wanted me to. He only put this on because he wanted physique as well, but he wanted me to just quickly go through abs and thighs because he hasn't tried it. And for a first try, it's especially for a powerlifter, pretty fucking decent to be fair. But immediately, I'll try and keep this like short because there is a lot to work on, obviously. But I'll try and keep this short. This screams to me that we've never tried kind of like a front on ab pose first. So like, you know, like a literally front, like Harry did, like a front on ab and thighs. It wouldn't look the best on him just because he has a wider waist, but we'd be able to learn the fundamentals. It's the same as like if you had a client who was, you know, he really scared of heavy hip hinges but wanted to learn it. You may potentially start them on, well, there's so many things you could start them on, but maybe like a hyperextension or something like that. If they're like kind of middle of the ground, it's the same way in posing. Like you want to kind of build from the ground up. Then if they don't have that baseline kind of knowledge, even if they get posed, you know, a certain way, like kind of the classic way tends to be the more technical one, they won't have them fundamentals to go back on, right? It's like learning someone, you know, giving someone a hip hinge and going, oh yeah, why aren't you anteriorly pelvic tilting? And it's like, well, you haven't taught me to do that. You just said, do this. Like, you don't know the fundamentals. So yeah, I'd say we learn that one first. But biggest thing is literally just the kind of upper body. Like we've got the belly button kind of facing one way. and the upper body facing, I mean, the arms facing one way, which isn't necessarily bad for the like kind of the waist, because it is going to make it a little bit smaller. But if we were to do that, we'd probably twist around even more. But the biggest thing is his sternum positioning. Like, if you look at how he is, he's very kind of caved in. We need that kind of lifted up, because not only is that going to bring the upper body forward and the lats kind of to come out, we can even see in the lats there, they're quite, shifted back. We want them forward, and we want that kind of overall quads coming out, waist going in, and then lats coming out. So, but arms also could be brought in a little closer. We don't want it out here. We want it to close the gaps. But yeah, sorry, I said I'm fucking so addicted to saying like 50 different things when it comes to posing, mate. It's such a little intricate, like there's so many intricacies.
He's passionate.
Yeah.
And then
I was gonna do the one that Camille sent, to be fair, the one at the end.
Tyler.
Yeah, is this someone who trains at your gym, or like is this, I don't know how you
So I used to train with Tyler back in Swansea, back at PB.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good lad.
Yeah, I swear I've seen it. Is he coach? Has he ever been coached
by Josh? Yeah, he's coached by Josh.
Yeah.
Thought so, yeah. So you want to go from a physique perspective, and then I'll go from posing, because I think this is one that people could learn from.
Yeah, I mean,
delt and quad.
I don't know if I'd go delt necessarily.
I think delts are pretty decent. I was going to say same with arms. Arms aren't terrible.
More chest.
Definitely quad.
Yeah,
I know he does have some quad issues. To be fair, I think he had a knee operation. His ACL was fucked.
I was going to say that screams. Yeah, with the asymmetry, it screams that.
But you can see the scarring as well across the knee, literally sliced right through his patella. So yeah, I think chest and quad would be where I take things, because lats clearly are fantastic. Arms are great. Midsection, you can still see there's some nice lines in there. I'd say delts are strong. Adductors seem decent. Calves, we don't talk about them. Bodybuilding only exists from the calf up. No, I mean, calves are a boring one to say, because you can kind of never really have too much calf. But yeah, I'd say chest, just like looking at this here, just like
I've actually seen him in person. He's got a really, really good chest. I think that's one of his strongest body parts. You can't really tell from this pose. But I would say his chest is one of his stronger body parts. The only reason I say delt is just to kind of balance it out. I think if he had a little bit more width up top, that would give a lot to his physique. He's got really good arms and really good chest.
I think if he hinged at the hips more and protracted, I think, because he's got, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, Matty, but he's not really showing off his upper body width here. He's quite far.
Yeah, I'll go into it, but yeah, you're right. You've hit the nail on the head there. Do you want me to go into it now? I thought you were keep going. Okay, so I won't talk about lower body, because we know from the ACL injury that could potentially be why. But to be fair, the left leg isn't posed that badly, and we could have a little bit of a softer knee, and obviously the right knee could be bent a little bit and twisted out. But I just said I wasn't going to go into it and fucking said it. But with the upper body, it's screaming, not going into full protraction. We can literally see that with the arms, right? When it comes to the arms, if you start to see that internal rotation, it's like slightly coming up. You can see like the bicep rather than like kind of the tricep and like, the side of the arm. When you see someone do a proper lat spread, they can see their kind of front of the arm, and we can see that his elbows are like, fucking hell, it's kind of hard to do. His elbows are kind of up like this rather than being down. This could also be to do with sternum position, but his sternum position isn't that bad. But I'd like to see him hinge at the hips more and kind of from the side be more like kind of forward with think kind of about spreading them scaps apart, right? And we kind of want the elbows in line here and the chest up high, right? And we could even bring it a little bit forward, but I'm guessing he's got some mobility restrictions from that. But we can see that he's currently kind of awkwardly like this. And I can guarantee that he has some scap restrictions, because that screams what I used to do when I pose. And I still do it a little bit when it comes to my scap. But yeah, you can see that front side of the arm. No, we want the elbow kind of being pulled forward. So we can see that front side. Am
I tripping, or do you guys see that too? Look at his rotation. Is that or am I tripping?
Yeah. So I said left scap, right hip needs a bit more. Right hip needs a bit more rotation, and left scap needs a bit more protraction. I think that'll do him a world of good.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, you can see there's definitely like my left quad does this a little bit, where like I don't have, unless I've like recently trained it, my like ability to flex it is a little bit bad. It's like if I were to flex this leg, you'd see quad. If I were to flex this leg, you'd just like, I feel like a hamstring stretch.
Also,
That's,
to be
that's
fair,
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, so like with that rotation, Tyler, if you're listening, it might not actually be a mobility issue considering your previous history. It could actually be a stability issue with that ACL. So if that is the case, just drop me a message. I can walk you through some tests that we can do and what you can do stability wise. But considering how you had that surgery, I don't know if you did rehab after that or not, but it could be the reason why you don't have access to that range of motion rather than it just being a bit tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, now that I've had a little bit more time to look at this, it actually looks like he's queuing sternum up way too much. Do you see the way that his arms are coming back?
It's a bit Superman.
Yeah. I think he's queuing it a little bit too much to make up for him not being able to pull out his lats too much. He's probably seen like AJ Morris pull his sternum up really, really high. I feel like a lot of people do that nowadays. But we want to think about kind of arm mobility and how that's going to work. We can always work on our mobility, right? But we want to post for our physique right now, at least, and then we can start to change that. So just drop that just a slight bit and hinge the hips back a little bit, because it almost seems that the way he's vacuuming as well, he's vacuuming so aggressively that that's pulling up his chest even more, and meaning that his arms are going from what would have been down to being like up like this, and then internally rotating there. So yeah, I would have a little rethink about cues here. But yeah, you can always have a chat to me. Look at me. Yeah.
Strong jawline. Look at that. That's like
gazing into my soul. What the fuck?
Chad behavior, mate. All right, so that's the final physique. We'll go through the rest next week. But yeah, everyone who listened, that'll be grand. For the advice, you're welcome. We will. The money will just get taken out your banks. Don't worry. It's all on automatic. Yeah. So.
Or alternatively, just checking everyone there was above age. Yeah, send naked check-ins next time, and then it's covered for.
There's one guy in there who I know is 16, but we didn't cover him today, so it's okay.
Oh no, okay, thank fuck for that.
Okay,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually 14 now, so now you're the illegal one, and I'm morally right. So
specifically your body.
So they're playing check. Wait, they're playing. Oh, I don't even fucking know.
Checkers.
Go get some sleep, mate.
Oh, I'm dead. Anyway, do you want to wrap it up, Jack? Because you're pretty good at doing that. I'm so sorry.
Fuck this guy. Can I fire him?
Oh, yeah, at least wrap it up first.
Can we?
No, don't fire him. You haven't even brought him on technically.
Yeah, because I'm sorting you out, mate.
Mate, he's locked out. Yeah, he's locked out.
He's locked out.
I'm too busy jerking off Camille to give Matty.
That is valid, though, to be fair.
Okay, now.
Clip that. You got both hands around Camille. You got both hands around Camille, and Matty's stood in the corner just watching. Anyway,
as the only natty, is that what it is? I feel like as the natty, I should be the one. You know, I'm the smaller guy. I'm the petite guy. You know.
Well, Jack likes a bit of meat, bro. He likes a bit of glute.
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm a future wellness athlete. I'm going to be a men's wellness Olympian one day. So,
fuck me.
Yeah,
I should just do that. If I become a washed fucking bodybuilder, I'll just go men's wellness, brother, and just win the fucking
win, ironically.
Yeah, I actually think I'll do all right. I'd have to downsize the upper.
Yeah, we'd have to do an upper atrophy block.
Yeah.
No. Can you imagine? How would you do that? Just atrophy everywhere and then come back and just train legs, I guess. But...
Some massive delts, nothing else in the upper, and then just massive glutes.
Oh, okay, right. Fucking hell. Hopefully, if anyone's still listening, they still want to give us money and join coaching or whatever. All our details are down below. The team name is Unnatural Physique. Well, we're kind of like 2.5 men here, aren't we? 2.5.
Thanks for that. And you just told me that small way.
Well, it's 2.5 junkies. Anyway.
2.5, man, is a fucking fire.
Handily destroying my reputation that I've built over like 7 years, over the past 17 minutes. Fucking hell. Right, thank you everyone for listening. as always, if you want to work with me, Camille or Matty, our details are down below. If you want a prep coach, hello. If you want a person who's going to make you uninjured, that's Camille. If you want to pose good, that's Matty. If you enjoy training and you don't want to be a bodybuilder, that's Matty. If you want to take shit seriously, that's Camille. If you want to be a bodybuilder, that's me. There you go. That's the elevator pitch, really. Thank you for watching. Until the next one, we'll see you all. And go and watch. It's on this YouTube channel, so you will have no excuse. Go and watch the Archer Academy Meetup 2.0, and then turn on notifications for the third one.
And just turn the volume down.
Yeah, just play in the background on repeat, please.
Yeah, we are sellouts, aren't we? Jesus Christ.
Thank you guys. Turn on that bell.
Oh god, yeah, Patreon coming soon. Podcast is going to be a paid exclusive. Oh lord. Right. On that note, thank you everyone, and please show up to the next one. We need it. Bye bye.